Welcome to the pre-departure video. It is in English to help you start getting familiar with the Australian accent. It is a condensed version of our written pre-departure guide, which I strongly recommend you read. It contains numerous suggestions from students who are already in Australia and will greatly assist with your adaptation. When you travel, be sure to take your passport and yellow fever vaccination certificate, as you will need to present both at immigration in Australia. We recommend that your passport is valid for your entire stay in Australia, as it will save you the trouble of getting a new one while there. You should also take a printout of your visa, offer letter, and COE. Take your cedula and driver's license if you have one. You should join one of the Ecuadorian Facebook groups to help keep up to date with the other Ecuadorians in Australia. One of the most popular groups is Estudiantes Ecuatorianos in Australia. This is a great support site and has posts about accommodation, travelling, and up-and-coming events. Every university has their own pre-departure guide. Search for them using Google or find links to them in our printed pre-departure guide. It is extremely important that you read these, and if there is only one thing you do to prepare for your trip to Australia, it should be this. They contain information about subject enrolment, airport pickup services, accommodation, the very helpful student support services, which you must visit, plus information about orientation week. If possible, travel to Australia 1 week before orientation, as this will give you time to adapt and find more permanent accommodation. If you do not have our accommodation guide, which discusses all your options from hotels to homestay, please ask us for it. It is important that you go to orientation, as you will receive a campus tour, collect your student ID and OSHC card, find out how the library system works and how to borrow books, plus other services and facilities like clubs and societies. My number one recommendation for all students is to join at least one club, as this will be how you will meet other students in Australia. It's also a great stress relief from studying. Most universities have in the order of 200 clubs from anime to zoology, so there is something for everyone. I recommend most students join the Ecuadorian or Latin club, plus one other to pursue an existing pastime or learn something new like diving, sailing, football, or even rock climbing. International Student Services are a team of dedicated staff at the university to help you with everything you need. They provide accommodation assistance, emergency services, financial assistance, counselling, study assistance, and so much more. You really need to talk to these people when you get to Australia. I love Skype and use it all the time. It's free and I find the call quality much better than using a standard phone. However, if you are in Australia and would like to call home, dial 0011 593 and then the phone number. Remember to drop the first 0 in the phone number as shown. Public transport in Australia is quite reasonable, although far more expensive than Ecuador. Be sure to have a look at the public transport site for your city to determine the cheapest travel options and to learn about prepaid travel cards such as MyKey in Melbourne. I also highly recommend using the trip planners, which will give you specific directions from your accommodation to university or any other destination. Taxis are very expensive and are rarely used by students. Everyone gets homesick and you will too. Sometimes it's only for a week, other times it can be a bit more serious. Student services have professionals who can help you get over this if you are really missing home. Tips to beating homesickness are: stay in contact with your family and friends in Ecuador. Join the Facebook group and participate in the events that are organized. Join a university club or society and make new friends. Look for accommodation with your friends. Become active. Walk, run, ride, or do yoga. Exercise is one of the best methods to overcoming homesickness. OSHC is your health insurance while you are in Australia. Collect your card from International Student Services. Also ask them for a list of direct billing doctors, or you can get this list from your insurance provider's website. Direct billing is a system where you can go to the doctor, present your OSHC card, and not have to pay anything for your visit, as the doctor will bill your provider directly. It is important to review your OSHC coverage so you know exactly what is included. For example, dentistry is not, so it is a very good idea to visit your dentist before you travel. In Australia, you only go directly to the hospital if you have a serious emergency. Normally, you will go first to a medical clinic. Many work 24 hours a day. Also, you cannot go directly to a specialist. First, you need to visit your general doctor and they will refer you if required. If you take medication, we suggest taking a reasonable amount with you from Ecuador. You may need to present your prescription at immigration if you are taking a large volume. Australia is more expensive than Ecuador. Have a look at our printed pre-departure guide for a price comparison of everyday items. Eating in restaurants is significantly more expensive than Ecuador, which is why most people cook for themselves. If you do not know how to cook, Definitely take some lessons before you go. Coles and Woolworths are Australia's version of Supermaxi. Both have delivery services which can be very helpful. You should take a reasonable amount of clothing and personal items to Australia. You should not go with the idea that you will buy everything there. Household items such as sheets and towels can be bought in Australia in stores like Kmart or Target. Australia is a very large country, so the climate varies depending upon your destination city. Review the average temperatures before you go and make sure you take adequate clothing. I recommend taking your laptop from Ecuador as they are expensive in Australia and will come with an English keyboard and operating system. The second-hand market in Australia is good and legitimate. Websites like ebay.com.au or gumtree.com.au come highly recommended by students. The voltage in Australia is 240, so ladies, leave your hairdryer in Ecuador, and gentlemen, your electric shavers. The basic rule is if it has a motor, don't take it. If it is electronic, like a laptop, then you can. You will need to buy an adapter as the plug in Australia is different. Remember, if in doubt, do not plug it in. We can open an Australian bank account for you before you leave Ecuador. It takes only 5 minutes and requires no documentation. We use the Commonwealth Bank as they are the largest in Australia and provide a free student account. The complete account number consists of a 6-digit BSB number and then a 9-digit account number. You need to provide all 15 numbers to ESA to correctly receive your payment in Australia. If ESA pays you directly, you do not need to pay the 5% exit tax. You can drive in Australia with your Ecuadorian license, however you need to get it translated by an Australian certified translator. Ask at the Student Help Desk for a translation service. It is really important to note, particularly when crossing the road, that Australians drive on the other side. That is, the left-hand side, not the right, like we do here in Ecuador. Be careful. The education system in Australia is different from Ecuador. You will spend less time in class and more time doing self-guided study and assignments. Expect to spend around 40 hours a week studying. Student services have a number of programs to assist with assignment writing and effective study techniques, which are recommended by our students in Australia. Academic referencing when writing assignments is extremely important, and you will be expelled from university if you do not do so correctly. Make sure you find out which referencing style is accepted by your university and faculty, and reference everything. EndNote is a program provided free of charge by the university to help you reference correctly. If you need help in Australia, you should first talk to International Student Services at your university. Then, ask on the Facebook group, as others will also have the same question. Talk to Latino Australia in one of our 4 offices. Also, ask us back here in Ecuador, and we will help you with anything you need. I strongly recommend reading our printed pre-departure guide, as it is more detailed than this video and provides links to important websites. From everyone in Latino Australia Education Quito, we wish you the best of luck in Australia and hope you have an amazing time. We love to hear how you're going, so please send us your photos.